Hello, I wanted to bring to you a greater explanation of the creation codes of completion and acceptance that I personally experienced while I was on retreat in Mount Shasta just this past October. And even within that retreat, I had a breathwork experience where I was crucified on the cross. And it was an incredible experience to witness the holy and sacred masculine observing the feminine Christ upon the cross, or the sacred feminine. And him, like, so it was sort of a role reversal in a sense. And there was this beautiful sort of merging of the sacred union in that moment where they both suffered and both had to sort of die in order for their ministry to move forward. And this is the process of creation. It is life, death, and rebirth. And so much of our suffering is the clinging and attachment and contriving and manipulation to keep things as they are and not aligning to the qualities of nature that allow us to be in constant flow of expanding, birthing, and transforming, ultimately to transcend. And so I was thinking about this, and the two words that really came to me that have allowed me to bring a quality of completion and acceptance to a phase in life that was really just kind of coming to closure and allowing me to open into something new. And I could feel this entire year that there was just this tension that was accumulating and an alignment that needed to happen in order for me to get to that next phase of birthing something new. So I knew that something was kind of off. And going on retreat and being midwived by my beautiful sisters really helped to bring this phase of life to completion, to be in full acceptance of divorce, to be in full acceptance of the fact that my children are in their senior year. I have two that are in their senior year in high school that will be soon leaving home. And my identity as mom is shifting. And it's, this attachment to wanting to keep them under my wings. And even though I'm excited, of course, for them to experience life and live their individual lives, I didn't know how attached I was and how much grief I would be facing as this year came. And of course, whenever your kids get to this age, you're like, oh, how did this happen? It's so soon. So there was a completion of a cycle through the divorce process. A lot of closure needed to happen for me to feel ready to bring something new in. And then this quality of acceptance that needed to come into my heart so that I could actually just utter the words and the experiences of my children in their senior years so that I could be functional for them and functional in life and also joyful. Okay, so that's where these codes really came forward. But then cycling back to this experience that I had of being crucified on the cross, in the spiritual realms through this breathwork practice. And of course, you get these imageries that just are really compelling and transformational. I was thinking about the words that Jesus uttered, that Yeshua uttered on the cross, his very last words, "It is finished." They served him the vinegar. He bowed his head and said, "It is finished." And I thought, I wonder what that means exactly, because I don't think it means death. Oftentimes, when we think of a particular cycle or creation needing to happen, that's a part of us needs to die. And well, perhaps that is true. The idea of, I mean, just that verbiage, that language can be so contracting. We don't want to let go to that degree. And I don't think we have to. I think there's a better word, and I love this word completion. So I had to look into this a little more deeply. And the language of ancient Aramaic has been super activating in me. And I thought, I need to look up the word finished in ancient Aramaic. And the word is MASHELEM, MASHELEM, and it means it is complete. It means also that there has been an advance payment to God. And so if we take this metaphor of Yeshua on the cross as a metaphor for our own lives that are in need or in process of transformation, where we're completing a particular cycle in life, or maybe it's a particular way of being or a particular pattern that we are letting go and releasing. In order for us to bring that forward, something that we know we want to bring forward, we can offer an advance payment by our complete submission. So that's the other um, um, meaning behind Mashalem is complete submission. So if we look at the story of Yeshua on the cross, and actually just the story in general, Yeshua knew what was going to happen. He knew what his sole mission was in life, and that was to be, you know, to die on the cross in order to ascend, in order to come into the Christed being, to be anointed as the Christ. So when you have a mission, a soul mission, and you know that you need to be in complete submission into trust and into acceptance and to allow parts of yourself to die or complete, that this is what allows new life and light to come in. This allows the Christ energy to start to fill yourself with light, to become like to elevate, to up level, to expand into a new frequency, because you have given advance payment, which allows new energy for God to bring in that light, or actually for God to be revealed through you to carry out this mission. So if we break this word down even further, Mashalem, the M or mem means it's a feminine. Even the word or the seed word ma, the letter M, which means, or it sounded mem in ancient Aramaic. It's a feminine connotation. It's a feminine energy, and it means womb. So I love the idea that when we are in a transformative period, we're being incubated, we're in the womb. We're in the baptismal waters of those amniotic fluids within the Christ Sophia, the Mother God, Holy Mother. She is birthing something new. And then so in the ancient language, there are numbers associated with the letters. And so the letter M is associated with the number 40. 40 means metamorphosis or transformation. And so, going back to the story of Yeshua on the cross and being resurrected, that was metamorphosis. That was transformation. We are invited to this same quality of transformation that requires MASHELEM. And then the second letter, A, in MASHELEM means Aleph, is merging heaven and earth. So if you think of a creation code, it requires masculine and feminine. It requires light and dark. It requires two opposing forces um, uh, in order to create this combustion of life force energy. It is the Kundalini energy. It's where the feminine rises to meet the masculine, and the Holy Spirit descends into this new being. And it's oneness. It is the sacred union. Um, and then that letter, Aleph or A, stands for the number one, meaning mastery. Think about the mastery that is required for this particular Mashalem to take place, for the transformation to take place. A couple things, other things that I forgot that I left out. So let's back up and rewind a little bit. I also want to bring in that with the letter M, with the water womb, there is also baptism. And so when you are baptized, you are birthed into something new, and you don't have to die to do this, but there needs to be completion. One part of you needs to be complete in order for something new to come in. And then the other piece I wanted to bring in is that the root of shalem in the word mashalem comes from shalom. What does shalom mean? Peace. And so I'll leave you with the idea that moving through these processes of life, death, and rebirth, and I don't want to skirt over the fact that, yes, these can be really challenging and hard times when we bring a part of ourselves into completion and acceptance. Our ego and our attachments, our gripping do not really want us to find completion or acceptance because it brings in the light and it creates space in us. And sometimes that's scary. And so there's this resistance to it. But can we invite ourselves into a process of metamorphosis and transformation that also gives us eternal peace? And let me tell you, in my own experience, I can't believe that within a weekend, what it was taking me, and I was self-witnessing myself within a whole year, um, processing through divorce over 7 years, something like that. in a weekend time with full completion and acceptance, there was this quality of peace that has brought so much light and opening into my own being that things are birthing without much effort. So if there's any motivation to allow yourself to just like surrender and be in complete submission to the sacred mission, to be on the cross, to give up parts of yourself in order to find new life, I I wish you much love. And this is the journey that we are on. This is the spiritual zhoosh that we are invited into. And sometimes it's not very pretty. It's not very easy. But when we allow, when we allow the process to happen as it's naturally meant to, because we are part of nature and we are always changing, always transforming. We are organic. We can we can just open. We can allow that light to come in. So, I don't know. I hope this lands for you. Let me know what you think of these creation codes, completion, acceptance, and I leave you with a mashalem.